and we're going to talk about another guy that Craig Button's really high on, and that's Axel Sandin Pellikka. I don't know if I'm saying that right. We've heard a few different pronunciations. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong because historically I do.
You do, yeah.
But what a name, by the way.
We're both
Axel?
going with Pellikka. Sandin Pellikka.
Love it. A Swedish guy, 5'11", 176 pounds, defenseman. So a little bit, again, smaller guy. So what do you know about him?
So it's funny that Craig Button has him so high. Some of the people I've talked to, he's in the top 3. We talk about Reinbacher a lot and Wielander a lot too, as another Swedish defenseman with Sandin Pellikka. Offensive upside, that's why you get Pellikka. He's a guy that can walk the blue line. He can move the puck well. He skates well. His offensive upside is there. The problem and going to be the knock on him is his size. And it's listed at 5'11", but I think in the combine he came in at 5'10 3/4, just under 5'11". So it depends what you need on the back end when you draft a player like this. Again, his offensive upside, he's elite. And he's a high-end offensive defenseman. The problem is if you need to have somebody that can play a 200-foot game that can help defend, and I think that's probably where the Coyotes are in a defenseman. I think they need more of a well-rounded, full that checks all the boxes, and I'm not sure Sandin Pellikka does that. I think he is going to be a guy. I think he'll be there at 12 for their second pick. I don't see him getting. I think he's top 15.
Yeah.
And definitely top 20. I just don't think he's going to be in that first 6 and 12. And I know Craig Button Craig Button put him in his top 5 right now. So for Craig Button, who knows? Maybe he knows. He watches these guys a hell of a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
So we'll see as the draft goes on. But it's just another one of those guys. If you want to talk about offensive defensemen and when you need to know the top defenseman in this draft, he is definitely a part of that list.
I think we've heard him in the top 3. We've heard him with Reinbacher and Wielander when you have the discussion, and it really just comes down to what you're looking for. When Chris Peters was on our show last month, he talked about sub 6 foot defensemen, and we've seen success with that in the NHL with Adam Fox, Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar. So it's not to say that they can't have success in the NHL, but like you said, for the needs of the Coyotes, if they're looking at maybe whatever their list of defensemen is, they might rank 1, 2, 3 different than a team like, I don't know, the Vegas Golden Knights, who already have size, it's just like that. So it really comes down to team needs. But Chris Peters said, he has a good skating ability, but not a ton of dynamic skills, but he's a good passer. And obviously it just all comes back to size being an issue. And one thing we know about Bill Armstrong is he likes his size. The bigger guys. So I don't know if he would be a fit, but Chris Peters also said he could make sense if he's on the board at 12 for the Coyotes. So at this point, nothing's going to completely shock me unless they go so off the list that it's a guy we haven't even heard of at 6 and 12. But yeah, I agree with you. If he goes to the Coyotes, it would be at 12. But
yeah, I'm not sure he's the defenseman they're looking for. And when you look, it's interesting to see how high Reinbacher is going to go. I think Reinbacher goes before Pellikka. And so I don't think he'll be available for the Coyotes. I think, and again, I don't know anything. I'm not in their scouting meetings. But I think the Coyotes will go for a forward. I think the forward depth in this draft is so deep that I think the Coyotes are going to pick a forward at 6. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick a defenseman at 12. Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Sandin Pellikka very well could be there. And so could Wielander. I think those two maybe. I don't think Reinbacher will still be there at 12.
Maybe we'll talk about Wielander next week.
Yeah.
But also, what a name. Axel Sandin Pellikka.
Love it.
Axel. Look at a tiny baby and name it
ASP.
Axel.
I like it. ASP because we have OEL. It's ASP.